This is Tanya Blum.
And David Rios.
And we're from Erskine.
And you're listening to Doggie Time
on DentonRadio.com. Just stepped all over you.
I love the fact that you slowly, rhythmically came together and then just had a total train wreck. That was gold right there.
I had seen Bill Clinton play the saxophone on the Arsenio Hall show, and I thought that was the coolest thing. I was like, this guy's going to be president. He's playing an instrument. I want to play an instrument because I want to be president. It's going to be great.
My fellow Americans, I'm pleased to tell you today that I've signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
It's Doggie Time.
Yeah, I know, but if something is actually traveling faster than the speed of light, right, relative to an eternal frame of reference, it would be, theoretically, traveling backwards in time, and causality would be violated, right, yeah. Well, and that would lead to a paradox, like a tachyonic anti-telephone. Yeah, I'm just saying. Not to mention the fact that it would be dark and you'd be bumping into stuff really fast. Well, it's all moot anyway. I mean, it's only a Toyota. You know what I'm saying? Paws up, cats and kittens. You are listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com. I am your host, Bone Doggie, and this, our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything except skinny jeans, disco, and that Justin Bieber kid. And we would like to welcome you to this, our 10th episode of Doggie Times. We've made it through 10 of them, my cats and kittens. So let us proceed without further ado. We want to give a shout out to a lot of things this weekend, my cats and kittens. It was a busy weekend in Denton. We had, of course, 35 Denton going on just about everywhere that you could possibly imagine. And we got to give a special shout out to all you cats and kittens out there that braved the weather this weekend to show the world what Denton's made of. And you certainly did that. There was a lot of good music floating around town and a lot of good representation. All the venues that participated did a heck of a job, and we have had nothing but good reports all the way around. And, of course, we have a special shout-out to all the local Denton bands that participated in 35 Denton. We know you guys went out there and did your normal thing, and to a lot of people on the outside world, my cats and kittens, Denton's normal thing is pretty high wire. Can you dig it? I knew that you could. Now, your humble narrator got to participate in a couple of little events. There were actually several events that were going on that were alongside, if not outside, 35 Denton. Thursday night, Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers had the honor of gracing the stage once again at one of our favorite places, Abbey Underground. And this time we did it with Devin Edelman and his 16-piece jazz band. It was a powerful air, my cats and kittens, and we had a good crowd, good-sized crowd there for Thursday night with such nasty weather. These folks that come out and brave the elements. And so we want to give a shout-out to Brother Dalma up at Abbey Underground for having a show with us Thursday night. And then Friday night, Fatty Lumpkin got up. So Denton was represented Thursday and Friday night up at Abbey Underground. And your humble narrator got to participate in something very special. DentonRadio.com put on our first wristband-free 100% Denton music show up there, and it was hosted by our good friends at Banter. Well, the show started up about 11 o'clock in the morning and went right up to 6 o'clock in the evening. And during the course of the day, we had Richard Gilbert open up the show, and then my kick drum Hart got up and tore the place up. And a special shout out to all the little dancers that were dancing along with my kick drum Hart. I don't think any of them was 3 foot tall, but they brought a life to the place and just got everybody hopping. After them, the lovely Simone Nicole played her tunes and captured everybody's heart. And then if you thought you couldn't get any better, we had Karina Michaela got up there and played a little bit. And after her was Ashley Gatta and the Free People, and I'm giving a special shout out to Ashley Gatta. She just kept adding people to the stage, one after another. Karina sat in with Ashley, and Brother Jeff Stone was up there, played some harp. And then after Ashley Gatta and the Free People burned the place down, Brother Zach Balch got up and did the same thing actually, and it was so funny. As the rhythm section was the hardest working people in the afternoon. They went through all three of those acts. It was Brother Austin played the drums, and Brother Bert played the bass. And I'm sorry guys, I don't know your last names, but you know who you are. And then my cats and kittens, it was kind of a treat for Bone Doggie. I got to see first time Sonar Lights. I had heard these guys many times, but I had never actually got to watch them perform, and it was just the drummer and the guitar player. But these two guys got up there and just burned the house down. It was a great show, and so by the end of the day, everybody was in a fantastic mood. We had put on a great show. The place was packed all day long, my cats and kittens. There was a lot of people in there, and they all had a good time, banter. Thank you so much for putting that on. And a special shout out to Denton Radio's own Brother Jake Laughlin for spearheading the operation and just making sure that everything went off without a hitch. And of course, you know, your humble narrator, I was the host of the whole show. And it must have been a success, my cats and kittens, because at the end of the day, I was bone tired. Can you dig it? I knew that you could. So all in all, it was one heck of a weekend here in Denton, my cats and kittens. They had some great music graced our wonderful venues here in Denton. A lot of fine bands come in from out of town, and of course, the nasty, terrible weather just to put a big period on the end of the sentence. So I guess final note from Bone Doggie and from DentonRadio.com and from all of us that participated, to all of you out there that enjoyed yourselves, I got to say, well done, Denton. We support local here at DentonRadio.com, and now everybody knows why.
If you are a musician looking for a band or a band looking for a musician, Denton Radio's Musicians Free Classified could be just the thing you need. Email your heart's desire along with your phone number, email address, Facebook page, Reverb Nation page, Sonic Bids page, and any other pertinent information to musiciansclassified@dentonradio.com. And that's musiciansclassified@dentonradio.com. Or you can leave a post on the Doggy Time page on Facebook, and Bone Doggie will read them out on the Doggy Time show. And remember, the preferred method of travel is Facebook or email, so once again, we will not read out any phone numbers over the internet. And that's musiciansclassified@dentonradio.com.
Let's see what we got here. All right, my cats and kittens, it is time we introduce our special guest this week. He is a regular not only at the Banter Open Mic, but he could arguably be called the hardest working man in Denton music right now. Every time your humble host turns around, we're finding this guy on a stage somewhere. He's a great singer-songwriter and has been a good friend of DentonRadio.com since the beginning. So let's give up a warm welcome and a cold beer to Richard Gilbert. Hello,
Thank
sir.
you. Oh, thanks.
Thank you very much for coming out and doing this mess with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it too. I'm going to enjoy it.
Well, I hope so. Because you're not getting paid for it. It's not going to happen. So you glean what you can from this experience, young man. And you have been busy.
Yeah. I got to do the DentonRadio.com yesterday.
That was
Saturday.
fun.
That was a blast. Got
Oh,
to
it
open
was.
that up. And, you know, that's an honor. I mean, there's so many musicians on DentonRadio.com, and to be selected as one of the 7 that got to play there yesterday, that was pretty awesome.
It was very cool. And well, like I said, you've been kind of with us since the beginning.
Right.
I know when Jake and I were actually trying to hash this thing out, and you showed a lot of enthusiasm about it and offered some well-taken advice. So, you know, but you and I, we both know that experience makes for good advice.
Exactly.
Most of the time, and if not, we can probably fake our way through it. I'm thinking. And I think I'm not talking out of school here when I say that both of us have considerable experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all we're going to say about that subject right now. That's okay. So, but yeah, we did that. We did that Saturday at the time of this taping. It was yesterday, but you got a few things coming up, and we will talk about that when we get to the gig schedule and all that. But again, thanks for coming out and drinking coffee and trying to behave ourselves, recuperating from yesterday.
Exactly.
So, cheers. All right. Well, Richard, it's time we are going to drag out our featured artist this week. And I met up with these guys actually at Banter yesterday. I had heard their music before, but I'd never actually met them. They are called Sonar Lights, and this is their tune, Help Me, and you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I knew that you could. Paws up, cats and kittens. You got Bone Doggie here. And I know a lot of you out there in Doggy Land are wondering how you can get your music played on DentonRadio.com. Well, here's the lowdown, Brown. Every Thursday at 7 p.m., DentonRadio.com sets up shop in the back of Banter Bistro, which is located at 219 West Oak Street, to make ourselves available to get you and yours registered. The process is actually very simple, my cats and kittens. All you have to do is show up with a valid ID and a recorded CD or a CD of WAV files or MP3 files of your tunes and sign a wee contract that basically gives us the rights to play your music. And the answer to the $64,000 question is no, my cats and kittens. You are not giving us the rights to any of your music whatsoever. You're just giving us permission to play the songs and spread the gospel. Can you dig it? I knew that you could. Now, for more information, you can click on the little banner below. Visit us at DentonRadioBlog.com. Scroll down the page till you see that little white question mark on the right-hand side that asks the magical question, how do I get my music on DentonRadio.com? That link will take you to a page that will fill you in on the whole story, Glory. So if you want to get your tunes out there on Denton Radio, meet us up at Banter Bistro every Thursday night at 7. That's 219 West Oak Street here in Denton. And it's always helpful, my cats and kittens, to give us a shout at contact@dentonradio.com to let us know you're coming. We're looking for you. We're looking for your tunes. So come on out, get signed up, and make this world a diggable place for Denton music. Can you dig it? I knew that you could.
Houston, this is Excalibur. We have a problem.
Excalibur, this is Houston. Say again.
Houston, we have a problem.
Stand by, Excalibur. We're looking at it. Negative, Excalibur. All our systems are green and go. What do you have at your end?
Copy, Houston. It's not a technical. We're bored.
Excalibur, say again.
We're bored, Houston. There's nothing to do up here.
Excalibur, Houston, you are on the moon.
Yeah, copy that, Houston. This place is a desolate hole. It's boring. And Charlie's starting to make little men out of duct tape.
Copy, Excalibur. Come on, Bob. Work with us here. What about walking on the moon? Most people would find that pretty exciting.
We done that. And that's boring, too. Look, Houston, if we take off now, we can be in Denton to watch some live music by this weekend.
Negative, Excalibur. We are not scheduled for return for 26 hours. This is costing a lot of money, and you'll get everybody in trouble.
Houston, this is Excalibur. We are preparing for launch. Fire up that aircraft carrier, boys. We're coming home to Denton to party. Yeehaw!
Excalibur, this is Houston. Abort launch. Repeat, abort launch. Excalibur, this is Houston. Abort launch. Repeat, abort launch. Bob? Bob? Jerk.
And we need to remind you that this information was not solicited. We got it off the internet. And if it's not exactly correct,
it's not our fault. That's right. No promises made, no promises kept. All right, my cats and kittens. We are going to run through the gig schedule now to find out what's happening in town this weekend. So, Brother Richard, what's happening at Dan's?
Well, at Dan's on Friday, March 16th at 10 p.m., you got Somebody's Darling, Samantha Crane, who I adore.
You know Samantha Crane?
I got to see her open for Josh Ritter at the Granada.
Nice. Very nice.
And Nicholas Altobelli.
Altobelli.
I'm sorry.
Nicholas Altobelli. We think.
You want me to go through that again?
No. No promises made, none kept.
Okay.
So we just.
Hey, Nicholas, the I looked like an L, so you know.
Well, here, use my readers instead of using yours. Check that out. And how much does it cost to get into that one?
Well, it's gonna cost.
Pull us out of the hole here, Richard.
$8. I mean,
Okay.
that's you're getting 3 great acts for $8. What a deal!
Good save. That was awesome. What's happening Saturday?
Saturday, March the 17th, at 8 p.m. You got the Jakeys, and on that one the cost is to be announced. So you'll have to check with Dan's on that.
Yeah, check with Dan's. There's usually a cover, and it may be anywhere between $8 and $10. So expect that one. At Haley's, Friday, March 16th at 10 p.m., we got Paper Scissor, Featherhead, Great White Buffalo, and Mora Collective. That is going to be at 10 p.m., like I said. The door is going to be $8, $10 if you are under 21. And then Saturday, at Haley's. We got Old Rex's bunch. Boxcar Bandits are going to be there with their evil twins, the Whiskey Folk Ramblers. Those guys play a lot of gigs together. The Boxcar Bandits.
Oh, yeah.
And
I love those
Whiskey
guys.
Folk,
Yeah.
And County Rexford, whoever that is, I'm sure they are just as good as the other guys. So that ought to be a pretty good foot stomping show, I would think. Foot stomper. There. The cost on that one is $5 at the door, $7. Again, if you're under 21.
And then we got Banter on March the 16th, and we got some jazz, and Bone Doggie always gives me the names that are a little bit harder to pronounce. We got and Andy, I hope I don't butcher this, but Andy LaViolette.
Okay,
that was easy.
There you go.
Andy LaViolette. Yeah, 10 p.m. We're going to have Pat York and friends.
Yep, Pat York will be up there.
Yeah, and on Saturday, March the 17th at 6 p.m., St. Patrick's Day Bash, jazz at 9 o'clock.
That's right. And that St. Patrick's Day Bash is Mark Davis and his bunch, the Celtic Jammers. They're usually up at Banter on Sunday afternoon, and that is a fun afternoon.
Yeah.
You get together with those guys. Mark Davis has been doing this for a long time. Plays Boron.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'd like to hear
Boron.
that. That ought to be fun.
Those guys can play. I've got to sit in with them a couple times. Of course, when you show up with an Irish bouzouki, you are welcomed with open arms.
Hey, you got to have that Celtic music going on St. Patrick's Day.
You do.
Definitely
You do. So got that going on at Banter. That's a traditional thing. And if you have a mind to, my cats and kittens, saunter in on St. Patrick's Day Bash and give a rendition of Danny Boy. That's a tradition. People get up there with the band and sing. They've had rap Danny Boy. They've had Elvis Danny Boy. They've had good Danny Boy, and they've had bad Danny Boy. If there's some, they've been doing it for a long time, so
I might walk in there and have to do that. I got the lyrics. I played it a few times. So
you
that might be
have
fun.
you have played Danny Boy. I saw you do Danny Boy one time. Brought tears to my eyes. Brought tears, and I hadn't even been drinking that time. Oh no, we were. I think I was sitting with Kim Dahl and Austin Struckmeyer. So there was the entire Emerald Isles plus Scotland being represented, and you whipped into Danny Boy one night, and we all thought about having a revolution right there, and throwing the British out, but we didn't. We behaved ourselves.
Instead, we had a little scotch.
That's right. We had a little scotch. So, that's usually where we gravitate anyway. Come to think of it, So, all right, at Andy's Bar, Friday, March 16th, we have Sincerely the Reaper. And I'm betting you $1 a dime and a donut. That's a metal band.
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it. The doors are going to be opening at 8 p.m. And there's usually about a $6 cover up at Andy's. And then Sunday, March 18th, we don't have any information on Saturday, but Sunday, March 18th, they've got Harp and Lyre, Euphony, Micah Relocate, Mouth of the South, and Set to Sun. Those doors open at 8:30. It's the same drill as the night before, so that will be going on at Andy's Bar. And you got some gigs coming up, Richard. Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be at Haley's on March the 21st. I'm going to be opening for 11:40.
My boys, 11:40.
I call it the folk and funk gig because I'll be playing the folk and then they'll be getting in with the funk. It's a $5 cover. It'll start at 9 o'clock on March 21st, Wednesday. End of the month, I am traveling with my really good friend Jesse Fry. We're going to go to Kansas City and play at Take 5 there at 8 o'clock. Then we're traveling to Chicago to play at Cafe Baloo and Nothing Less on Friday night and Saturday night. Going to have a blast, taking it on the road for the first time, so it ought to be fun.
So you'll be out for what, 2 weeks?
1 week. 1 week. We're going to make it like a 5-day road trip and do 3 gigs. And then in April 14th, I'm playing back at my good friends at Yogurtville in Allen. I'll be playing there from 8 to 10.
Oh, very good. So you will be covering a little bit of ground.
Yeah.
A little bit of ground there. Also, March 24th, Bone Doggie's open mic showcase, and you just agreed about 20 minutes ago that you'd do that, which is a nice thing to do. I'll give you your $5 later. So... So you do cover a lot of ground, and I can kind of relate to that. Bone Doggie gigs, what we got going on, Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers on the 23rd of March. We're going to go up to Fort Worth. We've been wanting to play Fort Worth at the Grotto, down there in Fort Worth for quite a while, and we're going to be hooked up with Driftfield and the Matthews Show, which ought to be quite the evening. The cover by Cats and Kittens is $5. Please come and pay it because we are all splitting the door that night. And then the big one, and we will be talking about this in the next couple weeks, March 30th at Andy's, Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers, Jambunctious and the Master Classics, our boys 1140, and that TBA band that plays everywhere. You know, they show up just about everywhere. We are going to be doing a birthday bash for our Duchess, Abby Messerly. It is her birthday on March 30th, and we are going to put on a monster show for the girl. And Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers will be playing early because we are going to be drinking late, my cats and kittens. It's going to be a good show, though. Jambunctious is an excellent jam band, and of course 1140 is 1140. So it's going to be a nice show. It's going to be real good. Have a good time up there, and we'll come on out, celebrate the Duchess, and raise a toast to the fallen and their graves, as a Bone Doggie song goes. Those doors will open at 9 o'clock, and I would imagine there's probably a $5 or $6 cover. We haven't heard on that, so don't get me to lying. And Richard, I think we would be remiss if we did not entertain those things which are most important to us, and that, of course, is our open mics.
Our open mics are very important.
They are. We have our open mics up there, and of course, the one we're most fond of is
Banter.
Banter, that's right.
Yes.
How long you been doing it?
Probably about a year and a half now. I've been going steady. I actually went to when it was originally the Brick House.
The Brick House.
I went to that one with my son a few times, and then when it turned to Banter, I started going. Probably been at least a year and a half every Thursday night. I've probably missed about 3 or 4, but it's just fun because you get to hear so much great music, and it's a community. I mean, you learn from people, you get to give advice to people, and everybody learns. I mean, it's just fun.
We have a great batch of youngins.
Yes,
really do,
yes.
And we get one every school year. We get a whole new batch of youngins, and some of these guys are brilliant. They're good.
Oh, yeah.
They're good. I can't lie. And they hook up. They form bands. And they do gigs with us from here and there, you know. And I think both you and I have picked up some of these guys and drug them around town with us.
Yes.
Once or twice,
yes.
You know. And of course, almost all of DentonRadio.com's playlist has sauntered through that open mic once or twice. So that's a good one there. They also have one at Crossroads. Have you done that one?
Yes,
Matt Grigsby's.
Played it a couple of times with my good friend Matt.
Matt Grigsby. He's working hard. He's trying really hard to keep that thing going, and he's doing a good job at it. Like watching Matt do an open mic. He takes over for me when I can't do it at Banter, and he's been doing that for quite a while, and he's really got into the niche, and now he's got his own thing going over there on Tuesday night. Go out and support him, my cats and kittens. You feel like doing a few tunes? Go out there, sign your name up on the murder board. He doesn't have a list. He's got a murder board. And you go put your name on the board there and get to play 2 or 3 songs usually, you know. So
yeah.
Now at Banter, I think we need to mention that you got to be there at 7 o'clock.
You got to be there at 6:45.
You got to be there at 6:45.
Because if you want to get in line to be there at 7 o'clock, you got to get there around 6:45. I've been there at 6:45 before and didn't make it on the list because it's that fast. It'll fill up in about 3 minutes.
It fills up crazy. It does. It's a good open mic and yeah, there's a lot of competition there. And you know, I saunter in the door and they follow me around like a pack of vultures. You know, you start to feel self-conscious after a while. You know, you got all these people. I've tried this. I probably shouldn't even mention this, but I did try it. I walked to the back, said hello to everybody, turned right around and walked up to the front, and half of them followed me.
Yeah.
I didn't even have the list.
Yeah.
So these guys are eager beavers when they want to get up there.
One day I was at the open mic and it was 6:30 and I was standing in front of this table where you normally put it. I was just standing there.
Yeah.
And I was talking to some people that I knew and for about 10 minutes, and then I turn around and look, and there's 20-something people behind me. They thought I was the...
You weren't even a line.
I said, okay, I guess I am at the front of the line.
You became an instant cue all by yourself. I love that. Not too many people can say that. I became a cue today. So now, as I understand, in fact, I've done this, the Garage has an open mic. You have to go online
Yes.
at thegarage.com and sign up for that one.
You get about a half hour slot, I think.
Right.
On that one, you get
about
30
a half
minutes.
hour.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you've done that one too. man.
I haven't done it. I would like to. I need to check out the garage and the other one that we're about to mention too. I haven't gone to.
The Love Shack.
The Love Shack.
That's on Wednesday night.
Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as, and I think it's about the same thing. It's not as loaded down as Banter is, certainly. So yeah, you do get a few more tunes,
right?
You know, and Love Shack's actually got a pretty nice sound system in there.
They do, they do, and it's good sized stage.
Very good sized stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely want to get up there and play at that open mic. I just hadn't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, I don't know. You could spend all your time at open mics sometimes in this town, you know, until you wake up and you end up at Banter. So, all right, my cats and kittens. Well, that's basically what's happening in town, and it's about time now, I think, that we pull out another tune from our featured artist, Sonar Lights, and this is their tune called "Out in the Streets," and you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com.
Of acceptation.
All right, my cats and kittens, that was Sonar Lights and their tune Out in the Streets. And now it is the time of the evening when we give a little bit of howdy-do here to our special guest. We got Richard Gilbert in the studio with us tonight. And I do appreciate you coming out and doing this, really do.
Thanks. I appreciate you allowing me to come out here. It's been fun.
It's been fun. It's been fun, man. We ain't done yet.
Yeah.
We ain't done yet. one of the things I wanted to ask you about, we've never had this discussion before. We've known each other for quite a while. We've never had this discussion. Your roots, where'd you come from? Growing up and all that, where'd you come from?
Fort Worth. I was raised in Fort Worth. Lived there till I was 19, and went from there to Arlington for about 15 years. From there to Santa Fe, New Mexico. Lived in New Mexico for about 5 years. Back to Texas, and landed in Denton in '97. And been here ever since.
You've been here ever since '97.
Love this town.
Yeah.
Thought of moving a couple of times, but then I thought, why? I mean, I've got all the music community I want here, and if I want to go to Dallas or Fort Worth, it's 30 miles away. So.
Exactly. And the thing is, you don't have to stay in Dallas or Fort
Right.
Worth. You can bugger right back here where it's safe.
Right. It's just yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So. Well, you have traveled. You weren't an army brat or anything like that.
No. Just I spent my whole childhood and high school years in Fort Worth.
In Fort Worth.
Raised there.
Very cool. So you got to do a little bit after you got out of high school and all that. And when did you actually start playing music?
My dad gave me my first guitar when I was 14. It was a Sears Airline 12-string.
Oh, that's very cool. I had a Sears Electric.
Yeah.
That was my first. It was a Sears model electric.
I love that thing. I would get out the James Taylor and Gordon Lightfoot and any other folk musician that I could find at the time, songbook and learn the picture chords. And then I would do my own variations. Chords. Yeah, and that's how I learned how to play.
Was it Mel Bay?
Mel Bay too. Yeah, I did that.
For you youngins out there, my cats and kitties, who have not been enlightened, there is 2 generations of musicians that were literally raised by this guy called Mel Bay. Get on there, Melbay. Get on there and Google him, and you'll find about 1,000 how to play books. So that's who we're talking about there. We all did Mel Bay.
Yeah.
So, so you got off into playing guitar and your influences.
Yeah, James Taylor was probably. I'm gonna have to put him at number 1. I started listening to him in '68 when he started.
Right.
I loved Gordon Lightfoot. I loved. I loved Al Green. There was so many different other musicians. I loved a lot of the Motown stuff and soul music and but as far as the folk artists go, John Prine.
That's interesting. Matt Grigsby is real fond of John Prine, and you can see it. You can really see that influence in both you guys' songs.
Right.
Because you are a songwriter above it all, and you don't confess to be Jimmy Page or anything like that. You are a songwriter, and that's where your strength is.
Exactly what I consider myself. I know I'm not a strong guitar player. Would never say that. But I feel like what I put down in words is what's
more important. That's your focus and things like that. Yeah. And I know we had the discussion about Gordon Lightfoot and James Taylor. I love Gordon Lightfoot. I dearly love Gordon Lightfoot. James Taylor. We've had this discussion. Makes Doggie want to chew his foot off.
Yeah. Well, I've got some young artists too that have inspired me. Damian Rice. Damian Rice has got some fantastic lyrics.
See, I haven't got a clue who that is. So that's where you got me on that.
And these are people that my sons kind of turned me on to.
Right.
And a young guy named Fionn Reagan. These guys are both from Ireland.
Very nice.
But some great folk music.
I should definitely check. If they're Irish boys, then I should be checking them out.
Yeah.
So I could use a little education in that matter. So yeah, very cool. Well, all right. Well, as our want on this show, what we do when we have a special guest in is you need to pick out a tune from your CD, which is called
On the Run.
That's right. You did a CD. That was last year, right?
Yes, I did it. Released it in June of last year.
In June of last year, and you managed to get it on everything.
CD Baby, Reverb, Bandcamp. You can get some free downloads off Bandcamp. You can buy it off CD Baby. You can buy it from me. I've got it in the back of my car. I've got download cards.
Right now, you've got it all over your car.
Yeah.
Sudden stop, right?
Right.
So you got CDs everywhere. That goes, but I remember when you did the CD. That's real interesting. Is you are using this digital media to get the word out,
Right.
you know, and this is, I know it's the first time for me to use this stuff. It's the first time to you to be
Right.
doing this.
It
We
is.
used to do it old school.
Right.
You did a recording, you sold it out of the back of your car every time you played.
Yeah,
You know,
I do want to give a heads up on that CD for a good friend, Michael Purser, who plays violin on that CD. He
Awesome.
walked into the studio without even knowing me, and he laid down the tracks for the violins for all 10 songs. Well, for 8 of the 10 songs, excuse me. And I was really, really happy with it.
he pretty much did that in an afternoon.
He did that
if I
in the
remember you-
afternoon.
yeah,
We got there at 7 in the morning, and we left there at 7 in the evening.
So good day's work.
Yeah.
Good day's work there. And are there other musicians on the CD?
Just myself and Michael.
So you guys pretty much covered the whole base.
Right.
And did all that. It's a good CD. It's a nice, solid CD. It's got a good flow to it. We need to play a tune off of there, and the song I would like to hear is Black Sunday.
I think that's everybody likes that song.
It's a cool song. What's the story behind
Well,
it?
the story is it's based on an event known as Black Sunday, April 14th, 1935, when a huge dust storm that went from as far west as Colorado to the Atlantic and was as wide as North Texas all the way through Nebraska, hit on a Sunday afternoon. And it was, prior to that, it was beautiful sky, blue sky day. And this story is about a guy who was 10 at the time on his father's farm in Oklahoma, and just what he went through on that day.
Very cool. Very cool. So this is a song, Black Sunday, from the album On the Run, from Brother Richard Gilbert. And let's give her a spin.
In 1935, the sky was bright and blue. No one was aware what on the horizon grew. My daddy, he was barely keeping us alive. A poor dirt farmer back in 1935. A black Sunday you did take my son away on a bright blue sky day. A black Sunday you did take my daddy's land, turn it into a sea of dirt and sand. It came rolling in, boiling black as night, at 60 miles an hour, 8,000 feet in height. No one could escape even though they tried. Birds too, as they fell from the sky. A black Sunday you did take my son away on a bright blue sky day. A black Sunday you did take my daddy's land, turn it into a sea of dirt and sand. I could not hear my daddy calling my name. I could not see my home only 20 feet away. I just closed my eyes and could hardly breathe. Somehow my daddy, he'd have grabbed my sleeve. A black Sunday you did take my son away on a bright blue sky day. A black Sunday you did take my daddy's land, turn it into a sea of dirt and sand. The next day we weren't prepared for what we saw. some alien land. Sandra's standing 10 feet tall. My daddy, he did turn to me and said, this life here, my son, is dead. This life here, my son, is dead. Oh, Black Sunday, you did take my son away on a bright blue sky day. Oh, Black Sunday, you did take my daddy's land, turn it into a sea of dirt and sand. Oh, Black Sunday, you did take my daddy's land. Oh, Black Sunday, you did take my daddy's land. Oh, Black Sunday, you did take my daddy's land, turn it into a sea of dirt and sand. Turn it into a sea of dirt and sand.
All right, whoop, got the dog in the way.
Yeah. What's her name or his?
His name is Poot. Spoot. It's my spooter dog. You don't know this, cats and kittens, but every doggy time you have heard that we've ever recorded, there's been a Dalmatian sitting under the table here, and he likes to sit between me and our guests and growl at them.
Yes.
And, he loves Carrick. He growls at Carrick. He's known Carrick all his life, my boy, and he still growls at Carrick, and just, he will wag his tail and run right up to him and just growl at him like crazy. He immediately took to Jake Lofton from dentradio.com. He loves Tanya. Him and Tanya Blum are best buddies, as a matter of fact, he sits between her and me and growls at me.
Growls at you.
Yeah, he hollers at me when Tanya's in the room. So, but we got a Dalmatian sitting at our feet. I got the kittens drinking some coffee and just yakking. We got Richard Gilbert in the studio, and this song. The Black Sunday song, when you do it live now, you have this little vocal box which provides a very lovely harmony on top of your voice.
Yes, I thought as a solo artist, I wanted to have a little extra edge, and I first heard the voice box, harmony box, from a friend of mine who works at Banter and is also a really good musician, Thomas Pressler.
Oh, from Vita Brevis.
Yes.
Vita Brevis.
Yes.
Oh, that's where you found out about this thing.
So I went online, checked, found the one that I've got. It allows me to have a chorus backup. It allows me to have a single vocal from high to low harmony, or a dual harmonies, and you can mix it up a little bit.
Right.
And it's just it's my new toy to play around with when I'm singing.
Everybody should have a new toy from time to time. Well, it's very effective when you perform live. It adds something that you didn't have before, and it's just that much more to your performances. Now, your solo performances are very nice. It's real smooth. You put on quite the smooth show.
Thank you.
You really do. And, but the emphasis, like we've been talking about, is on your songwriting.
Right.
We talk about this from time to time. Do you have a particular approach to songwriting? Do you have a particular approach to songwriting?
Yeah, well, I think as of late, it's just been certain things that go on in your life that inspire me to write, or that's the beauty about songwriting. You don't have to be sad to write a sad song. You don't have to be happy to write a happy song.
Right.
But you can find things.
And it helps.
Right. It helps. I mean, I've written my share of sad songs.
But I was having a great day at the time. I won the lottery, but I want to bite my foot off here with this song.
But it's all experiences, and I may be looking at a couple across a room just talking to each other and watching their body language and seeing what's going on, and just make up a story of these two people that are, one of them might have an expression of sadness and the other one of concern, and you can
just kind of imagine a story.
Right, a story to go along with that.
I love short stories. I love to write a short story. or a scenario and things like that. And the better bulk of your songs, they're not the typical, angst filled, this is all about me and I'm telling you, how I feel. You like to write about situations, other people, whether they exist or not.
Right.
It's a short story. You get and to me that is a really strong vehicle for getting an opinion across rather than, just belly aching.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest.
And yeah, well, that's the thing I like the most after a show is that I will get people that are my age, which we'll just say a little bit of older generation.
There you go. Thank you very much. A little seasoned.
And I'll get 16-year-old, 18-year-old, 20-year-olds that will come up, and the first thing they say is who are you? And the second thing they say is, I love your lyrics. And that's means more to me than anything.
Right.
To know that I'm hitting a generation, maybe 1 or 2 generations back, all the way up to my own, and they're listening to my lyrics and saying, "Wow, I like what you write."
That was a cool song. That was,
yeah.
and the thing, we both know that you could do a song to 2 people, and they will both get something different out of it.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
Right.
So, I don't know about you. I really don't write a tune with that in mind. Basically, I just want to tell the story. You could get what you want out of it.
Yes. And some songs I will write, like this most recent one I wrote. I like to make it a little suggestive, where you have to kind of think, what's he saying here? What's he really?
Little double entendre there, Brother Richard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a bet with my brother is who could write the filthiest song without using a swear word.
Exactly. Yeah. I call my newest song for me anyway. It's my sexed up song.
Your sexed up song.
So and I've got a couple of lines in there, and I've asked some friends to listen to it and tell me what you think I mean by that line, and they'll go, oh, blah blah blah. They'll say something. And I'll tell them what it actually means.
They will tell you, and you will tell them, and we can't mention any of it here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, as soon as this microphone is going off, you're going to tell me, because I know that's hysterical right there. I'll be rolling in the floor, and then we'll post it on Facebook tomorrow. How about that? Get the word out there to it. But that is all very cool. All right. Well, it's about time, I think, that we hear one more tune from the CD, On the Run. Do you have another CD in the works? Are you writing?
I'm actually got about 6 new songs that
Awesome.
I've written, and I'm looking to record an EP, which I would like to really promote my On the Run CD right now, but have this EP ready to go, and maybe by the beginning of next year be able to release it.
Oh, so you're looking at the beginning of next year, like January,
right?
February,
Yeah, because there's some different things I want to do with the new CD. You kind of learn through experience. I am new as far as getting into the recording studio and all the things that you can that are available to you. So
that was something I was going to ask you, is when you actually started being serious about this. It was
2005. Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
I recorded a CD called "Can't Stop the Rain," and it was in a mobile home of my son's friend, and I recorded it in his closet by candlelight. So that was interesting, to have candles and wax dripping on the paper that I'm looking at while I'm singing.
Ooh, that's very gothic.
Yes.
That's very gothic. Which son was that?
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yes.
Okay, now I met Ryan before I met you.
Yes.
And my cats and kittens, Ryan Gilbert is one of those kids you just want to slap, because I don't think I ever saw him pick up a musical instrument
that he couldn't play.
And it didn't matter if it had strings or not.
I taught him maybe a half a dozen chords when he was young, and he left me behind when it came to playing music and song lyrics. I know I'm his pops, but anybody out there that knows Ryan Gilbert will definitely tell you that he's one of the better lyricist out there as far as songwriting goes.
He's really very good at it, and I met him before Banter when it was Brick House.
Yes,
that's when I met Ryan, and he was doing his best Dylan impersonation.
Yes,
at the time, and I think we did a couple open mics together, and then I'll never forget this. He'd always played guitar and sang, and he's doing his Dylan thing. We both ended up doing a Harry Potter book release, and
Oh, yes.
I think that's actually the
Yes.
first time I ever saw you, and I think we met
Right,
that night,
right.
And Ryan gets up and starts playing the Irish whistle, or not
Yes.
that it wasn't a tin, it wasn't
The
a
low
tinny
whistle, probably.
low whistle,
Yeah.
it was a low whistle. And that's when it dawned on me that little snot to play just about anything he puts his hands on.
Yes.
Now you got another one.
My youngest.
Yes.
He's a writer.
He's a writer.
He's a writer. He is Eric. I've got Ryan is in Korea right now with his wife, and my youngest joined the Peace Corps. He's in Macedonia. And
How did you pull that off?
No, I don't know. But
Mine are still in town and still in my wallet.
But yeah, Eric is to me. You know, I'm speaking as a dad, but he's a brilliant writer. Short stories, poems. Any of his friends out there that are listening to this, Eric Gilbert, you read anything that he's written? He's just remarkable.
Well, he was doing a rap thing.
Oh yeah. He came up and did
funny.
He did a little rap deal at open mic one night with a buddy of his, and he had the entire crowd just rolling.
They were roaring. It was funny though, and it was about what was my dad.
It's called they called it Dad Corps.
Dad
Kinda
Corps,
like the
that's
Peace
right.
Corps, but Dad Corps. Yeah.
So, yeah, you got homage paid to you sideways that night. Really, I think so. But it was hysterical, and they actually did it a couple times after that, and all of that. So. So you got the two boys. Is that it? Is that it?
That's it.
That's the kids.
That's it. That's
enough. I think.
Yeah.
I think I've got two myself, and that was definitely enough.
Yeah.
That was definitely enough. So, very cool. All right. Well, back to the real world. We need to play a tune from On the Run. Which one are we going to do here?
Let's do On the Run. Let's do the first song off the CD.
Title track. You play. I've heard you play this a million times. I never get tired of it.
Oh, thanks.
It's a great tune.
Yeah.
It does not make you want to get up and run out the door.
No.
Which is probably a positive. but you get your point across. So, all right, we got the title track from Richard Gilbert's CD, On the Run, and you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I knew that you could.
I hear your voice these half-shadow days. Takes me back when I had nothing to say. Stretch my legs, put on my walking shoes. Pay the piper, I pay my dues. I circle around the sun trying to get things done. My restless soul yearns to be on the road. On the run. Time to look around, grab what I need. Friends tell me to close my eyes so I can see. Read the paper almost every day. Know much like what it has to say. I circle around the sun trying to get things done. My restless soul yearns to be on the road. On the run. Stand there looking into my eyes. Make me laugh and you make me cry. Baby, you know I'm in love with you. Ain't no time to paint my life blue. I circle around the sun trying to get things done. My restless soul yearns to be on the road, on the run. Feel much better about things these days. left behind all that funky haze. Stepped outside into my big backyard, found that life's not quite so hard. I circle around the sun trying to get things done. My restless soul yearns to be on the road, on the run, on the run, on the run, on the run.
All right, that was Richard Gilbert and On the Run. And where'd that tune come from?
That was inspired by a book I read by Jack Kerouac, On the Road.
Good old Jack Black Kerouac.
Yeah, I just loved reading that book. It seemed like he just, it's the life I would like to live, just to be able to pack up and go and wherever I wanted to, anytime I wanted to. Maybe not with the drugs and stuff and all that, but
yeah,
just
you can do without some of that stuff.
Yeah, I can do it without. Yeah, the alcohol, excessive alcohol anyway. We'll say.
Yeah, really. Yeah. That stuff gets expensive after a while, especially if you goof up on a Saturday night. Monday morning, you're spending money after you wake up Sunday.
Amen to that.
All right, well, man, I really appreciate you coming out and doing this. This is awesome.
Thanks.
Had a good time. And it's about time we said auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, good night. So as is our wont, my cats and kittens, we'd like to invite you to keep listening to DentonRadio.com and to tune in for a new Doggy Time show this time next week. That is every Tuesday night at 8 p.m., my cats and kittens. You will have Doggy Time. And you can come in and fill your soul with the fried chicken that is Denton music, along with a special guest or two. And if you want to listen to Doggy Time anytime, you can just click on the Doggy Time button on the DentonRadio.com player.
We'd also like to invite you to listen to past episodes of Doggy Time on our blog at DentonRadioblog.com. You can also find Denton Radio on Facebook, so leave a post on the wall and let Bone Doggy know what you think of the show.
That's right. Give us a little post there on Facebook. We always check the Facebook. Tell your friends and loved ones about it, my cat and kittens. And spread the gospel about DentonRadio.com, because it's moving right along.
It is.
It is moving right along. We had evidence of that this weekend.
Yeah,
and
yes, we did.
And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. We really have to thank everybody that come out to that show. And just, we had a packed house all day long.
Yep.
Yeah. Of course, the fact that it was raining like cats and dogs, very wet, cold cats and dogs, that might have helped.
Had a little bit of a captive audience, but I think they enjoyed being a captive audience with the music they were.
They certainly did, and a lot of them stayed for the whole bloody thing.
Yes, they did.
They did. They stayed all day long, and again, we got to thank Banter for putting it on. And I'm sure we'll be doing this mess again.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's going to keep me out of trouble and occupied. So, in one way or another, it'll keep me sitting in this chair, if anything else. If I'm in this chair, I'm pretty much out of trouble, for the most part. Okay, I got to qualify that. All right, my cats and kittens. Well, we are going to float on out of here, and we want to finish up the evening with a song by our good buddies, Sonar Lights. This is their tune called "The Enemy Within," and you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig that?
I can dig it.
I thought you could. You can dig that.
Dig it.
You dig it, dude.
I'm double digging it.
Dig it right out. You're double digging. I don't think anybody's ever double digging it before. I can't even say it. We need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Let's go hit a bar. All right. You're buying.
Yeah.
Okay.